You guys, I just finished watching Skinny Girl in Transit. I just ended the very last episode, and I know I'm like last man. I'm probably the last person that is watching this web series in Nigeria, at least. Depending on where you're watching from, you might or might not have heard about this web series called Skinny Girl in Transit. It's a Nigerian web series, and God, it was so good. I think I binge watched the entire 6 seasons in like less than a week, maybe 3, 4 days or so. I took breaks here and there, but you guys, it's so good. It's so good. And that kind of got me thinking about how good our Nigerian shows, at least the web shows, are. Like, one thing about Nollywood web branch, they're like killing it. There are so many good shows, so many amazing shows, great acting, great story. And even though they're like not so big budgets, many of these shows are so good, you guys. So good. If you're into web series and you know a few that you want to recommend for me to check out, please leave them in the comment section because I'm looking to get into a new one. I don't care if it's Nigerian or non Nigerian, wherever the show comes from, I don't care. I really love web series. They're kind of easy to watch. And if it's like an older, like already aired season or show, I know I can binge watch when I want. So watching shows on YouTube is like one of those things that if you haven't gotten into it, you won't understand how good it is. But I tell you, don't sleep on YouTube web series. They are really, really good. So if you have any recommendations for any show anywhere in the world on YouTube that I should get into, please recommend them in the comment section. I really appreciate it. I wanted to share a few, I think my top 5 best web series, best Nigerian web series that I've kind of watched. Just in case you haven't gotten into them and you're looking to start, these recommendations are just my personal recommendations that I know I have watched myself. I enjoyed most of them. There are some that I have complaints about. Of course, these are not perfect, full blown, production. So they're not like the best thing there is. Like you can't compare them to say Netflix shows or regular TV or cable shows. But if you want something easy to watch, these shows I'm going to recommend in this video, a great place to start. So Skinny Girl in Transit is definitely one of the most popular web series here in Nigeria. I think one other show that was really popular back in the day, some years back, was like Giddy Up. But I personally didn't watch Giddy Up. I mean, I saw a few episodes here and there, but Giddy Up was also big. But Skinny Girl in Transit, you guys, it was so popular. It is so popular, and it has 6 seasons. So if you decide to get into it, you have a lot to watch. And I think there was season 7 coming up soon, which is why I started watching the show in the first place. Because I saw that they were making season 7, and I figured let me just try and catch up before the new season comes out. So it's basically Abimbola Craig, Ayolola, and I think there's Bisola and a few people. So solid cast. These people are young actors who weren't too big or too popular before the show, and of course they have some few veterans in the show. Ngozi Nwosu is there, and a few other actors. So it's a very great show that is centered around a female lead character. I mean, well, like, I won't give you the entire gist of the show because I want you to go and watch it. But I mean, Bola Craig, she plays a character called Tiwa, and she is a lead, and the story kind of revolves around her journey as somebody who is plus size, trying to lose weight, trying to navigate career, finding love, dating, and then she finds the love of her life, and there's a lot of it's really, really, mushy and love filled, but they were able to touch on very important things like counseling for couples, dating, cheating. There are so many, family stuff. It's really, really like it's a very rich show. Like even though it's centered around one character, they're able to kind of touch on topics that are like I think most people can relate to. So there's family, how they are raised, if you're from this part of the world, so many things. And the acting is good. As the show went on, of course, like most web series, season 1 might not be too high quality in terms of production. You can see that they're starting out. But by season 2 and 3, the show kind of picked up a whole lot. And, the chemistry between Tiwa and Mide, that's like the lead character and her partner, the chemistry is so good. In fact, their chemistry is so strong. Like in real life, fans are kind of trying to, pair them up or trying to suggest that they should date. That's how good the chemistry is. So if you look for something to watch, something to get you started and get you hooked, try Skinny Girl in Transit in case you haven't watched it. The next show that we're recommending is The Men's Club. Is by Red TV. By the way, Skinny Girl in Transit is a production from Dani TV, and The Men's Club, which is the second show I'm recommending, is a show produced by, or let me say, produced under the stables of Red TV. And let me tell you guys, that show is eye candy galore. Like, it's mostly centered around a group of guys, four guy friends who kind of navigate different things: dating, family, love, business. There are so many themes that you love, but they have partners, and there is beautiful women. It's just a very beautiful show, well produced, well written. I think there are three seasons. Yeah, three seasons of the show. If I'm not mistaken, I think there are three seasons, and the show is just amazing. It has a good cast. Ayorola, who is in Skinny Girl in Transit, he's also a he also acts, or he's a part of the cast of the Men's Club, and he's one of the major characters. And there is Baj Adibule, and there is Efai Wara, and there's Daniel Efyong. These guys are talented guys, and they're good looking and just amazing. And there are beautiful women there. Sharon Oja is there, Mimi Cheka is there. So many people, so many amazing, amazing people. Shafi Bello is there. I know Shafi Bello, she's going to bring it. So she's giving us glamour, there's acting, there's beauty, there's hair, there's fashion. It's a great show. The guys are good looking, and they're rich, and they're spending. It's a whole lot of sweet, delicious candy. And they also touched on a few serious topics too, like marriage, fidelity. There's also a character. I love this girl. Her name is, I wrote her name down, Bukola Oladipupo. That girl can act, you guys. Oh my god. I've seen her in one other show. She can act her ass off. And in the Men's Club, she's like my favorite character. I think Tiara was her name in the series, and she had a little bit of a drug problem, so they touched on that, and it's such a great, amazing show. You're going to love it. I don't know, you can start with the Men's Club or Skinny Girl in Transit, and you'll be fine. But I definitely recommend it. Definitely, definitely recommend the Men's Club. The next show that I want to recommend is one of my favorites ever. I love this show, you guys. It's amazing. It's called Little Black Book. It's made by the Naked Convo TNC is the name of the channel. By the way, you guys, I'm going to leave these shows in the description bar so you can just check them out through the links. So, Little Black Book, I think I watched it last year / this year, if I'm not mistaken. And one of the lead character of the show is rapper turned actor Ikechukwu. And let me tell you guys, if you've not seen Ikechukwu acting, I think you should watch this show because he did a great job. And I think the lead character, the female lead of the show, her name is Teniola. I wrote the names down so I don't forget their names because it's very important. These actors, they might not be like A-list stars, but they can act, and they've all done great jobs, in these shows. So this Teniola babe, she can act. I've seen her in a couple of shows, even on TV, but she can act her ass off. Oh my god, she's stunning. She can act. So she and Ikechukwu, they played these very amazing roles. But this show, I feel, is my favorite because of how they're able to touch on important topics like mental health, because the lead character had a little bit of a mental issue. There's corporate espionage, there's career stuff. There is a character that had a very serious relationship. For once, we saw a case where the guy wanted something serious and settling down, and the girl is the one who is like career driven, and she chooses her career over their love. So that doesn't really happen very often. Now we don't see it as much in this part of the world anyway. So it was a very interesting dynamic to see. There is so many things. So it's a very well-rounded show, and they had a lot more serious topics to cover, I guess. So it wasn't all. I don't think we even had a lot of romance per se compared to the Men's Club, for example, or Skinny Girl in Transit. Little Black Book doesn't have as much sweet, mushy romance, though it had this moment, but it's a very serious show. The acting is amazing. Music selection, all these shows that are called for you guys. The music, amazing edits, amazing music, and Little Black Book is definitely one of the top best out of this country, hands down. The next show I want to recommend is also an Dani TV production. It's called Love Like This. Now I have mixed feelings about this show because I had high hopes for the show, but they are still just ended season 1. We haven't had season 2 yet, so I'm kind of hoping to see more from them. But they had a very good outing. The pilot, or let me say the episode one of the show, will grip you from the very beginning because it had a very elaborate, gripping storyline from the beginning. As the show kind of went down the season, the episodes kind of became a little chaotic for me. Like I like a simple story. I love my shows and my films straightforward and simple. Sometimes I feel like writers get carried away trying to do too much, and I mean, we're not Hollywood, and I feel like we might not have the range to do overly complex stories. This is just my personal opinion. I'm not saying that we can't write complex stories, but I feel like sometimes it's best to just keep it simple. And this particular Love Like This started out very simple. It was straightforward, but very, very interesting. There was someone being jilted at the altar. It was really good, and the actors were mostly young people who I haven't seen a lot of in shows. One of the cast members, one of the lead characters actually, Nonso Basi. I know him from music, and then I've watched his some of his shows and his films, and he's a great actor. And there is other actors who I don't know as much. There's Chisom, who is like she plays like the female lead, and there is a few bunch of other young actors now. And the show started out it's mostly a young show. I haven't seen any serious issue compared to, like, let me say, the Black Book or even Skinny Girl in Transit. Skinny Girl in Transit had like serious themes or topics like miscarriages, infertility, all of that, weight loss, all that. But this other show, Love Like This, is more like, oh, there's cheating, there is this one, that one. It's like it's young from that point of view. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but it's a great show that you're going to enjoy. The acting is good, the quality is good, and the one of the most important part of this show is for me, or one of the most interesting aspects of this particular web series for me, is that there's this couple who have a lot of age gap between them, and that kind of gave us an insight on what that kind of looks like in real life. Because I think sometimes we kind of underestimate how much impact a wide age gap could have, for a couple. So that kind of gave me. It was the first time I was seeing it on screen in a way that wasn't cringy or perverted. They were just two people in love, but they happened to have a wide age gap between them, and it was very interesting to see. So yeah, it's a great show, great acting. It's just season one, like I said. So I'm hoping that they come strong for season two. But absolutely check out Love Like This on YouTube. The next show I'll be recommending is a brand new one that I just started. I think they just actually started this show. Is one by Accelerate TV. It's called Clinically Speaking. If you love Grey's Anatomy, you like medical shows like I do. This is an attempt at a medical show. So this is a medical comedy, medical drama, medical web series. So it's very interesting because, and I find it very daring, because if you know how our shows are, technicalities like you would find in medical shows or legal shows, I don't know that it's very easy to pull off. So I was, let me say, excited to see what they would do with the show, and it had a mostly young cast. Like the lead character is pretty young herself, and she also kind of she's she's also in the previous show that I mentioned, which is Love Like This. So she's also in Love Like This, and she was very impressive on that show. So when I saw her on the poster for this show, Clinically Speaking, I was very happy because I wanted to see more of what she could do, and she didn't really disappoint. Her name is Gbemi. Her name is Gbemi, and she's such a great actor. She's pretty very very young, but her delivery is really good, and she's really nice to watch on screen. So again, like I said, it's a medical show, so I don't know. I'm not a doctor, right? I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how to rate them in terms of medical accuracy. The camera stopped recording for a bit, and I wasn't sure where I stopped, so I just ended up finishing my dinner, got myself a drink, and let me try and wrap this up. So I was saying that, clinically speaking, as a show, I'm not sure about the medical accuracy of what they're saying, but they try to educate us every episode. So when they have cases, they try and use terminologies and try to explain those terminologies so that they educate as well as entertain us. Which again, it's not the smoothest, easiest thing to do. I mean, in Grey's Anatomy, the narration is kind of in a voice that we're not seeing, but when the character literally has to look into the camera and talk to us, it has to be done in a certain way. And I feel like in this show, again, this is just season one, so I'm sure they'll get better as they go. But so far, it was like it's a little distracting almost. So, but overall, like I said, the actors, the cast, they're all good. Shalawa Ashafa is there, even though she's young, she's very experienced. I've known her for a long, long, long time. Um, I've seen a few of her work and she's really good. And this Gamey lady, she's good. We have a few actors and there are a couple of influencers that are acting in the film. I don't know why they cast them. I mean, I get why they cast them. Maybe they're trying to get into acting, but there's Oli Ekun. If you're on Twitter here in Nigeria, and I think he models and is also an influencer on Twitter, and there is a beauty influencer that's pretty popular, Eniola, Eniolua, Eni is what they call him. So he's also there in the show, and they bring what they bring. But yeah, and there is a Sodike young guy too who has been acting for quite a bit now, even though he's still young, but he has quite a bunch of shows and films under his belt. So I think it's a pretty decent show. I love the show, even though it has a lot of rough parts. It's still kind of rough and awkward still, but it's not your typical show. So it's not hovering around romance and everything and sex and all that. It's quite different. And if not for anything, the fact that they're trying to attempt doing like a medical show. So medical shows and legal shows, I respect people that try and do those kind of shows because there's a lot of writing involved, there's research involved. It's a very technical heavy show, let me put it that way. So kudos to them for trying, and I feel like you can check the show out on YouTube. Again, I'll leave all these links in the description bar in case you want to check them out. But these are the few web series that I've watched in the past maybe 1 2 years, and I've enjoyed all of these shows. All these shows I've recommended, like in this video, they're all amazing shows that I'm sure you enjoy if you like something light-hearted. These are not action, so all of these shows are mostly comedy drama type shows. So they're not anything heavy, and it's on YouTube, so it's easy to watch. And wherever you are, you can watch them easily and try and catch up. So I suggest you just touch on maybe watch one episode each to see which one you like. If you've seen any of these shows or all of these shows, let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll be responding and commenting there too. Let me know if you like this kind of content, if you like the video, because you guys, I watch a lot of content, YouTube, Netflix, all of these shows, even on Instagram. I'm a content geek. So let me know if you like to see videos like this where I share my opinions or recommendations on things like this, reviews, reactions, you name it. Let me know in the comment section. I really appreciate if you leave me a comment, and also give the video a thumbs up because it helps my channel, and subscribe in case you haven't subscribed. I didn't say my name at the beginning. My name is Sky, in case you're new here, in case you haven't seen my face. My name is Sky, and I make minimalist style, beauty, and lifestyle content, and also creativity content, and also now random content about stuff. Anyway, I make content here on YouTube, Instagram, my blog, mostly from a minimalist point of view. So if you like that kind of stuff, I hope you stick around. I hope you subscribe. I hope you hang out, and I hope we become friends. I'm gonna see you in my next video. Bye.